And
But before you leave Tucson,
Yeah.
we have to talk about the most important thing that happened there.
which was, oh, Laurie. Yes, definitely.
The birth of our oldest daughter,
March 18th, 1962.
1962. I had just had my 23rd birthday, and this was really a surprise. I kept saying, Stephen, I think it's time to go to the hospital. And we'd go to the hospital, and they'd say, not yet, and send us back home. I think that happened 3 or 4 times. Four times we went to the hospital.
Finally, they kept her on the 4th
Finally,
time.
they kept her. Mother, in the meantime, was on the airplane flying from Louisville to Tucson, had no idea that this was going on. They didn't have jetways at that time, so there were steep stairs and very difficult for her. So Steve went up the steps to help her down from the airplane, and as soon as he got to the top of the steps, he said, "You're a grandmother. We have a beautiful baby girl." And she said, "You could have waited till I got off the airplane."
That, you mean down the steps?
Down
right?
the steps
Yeah.
before you told me.
Exactly.
Allie was kind of an exciting birth. She was born on September 11th, actually, 1964. She was 2 or 3 weeks late. I told her I was almost out of the mood by the time she finally decided to arrive. One day I was doing the laundry and felt like, oh, the baby's coming. So I called Stephen. He said, I'll get home as fast as I can. Called a friend who lived in the neighborhood, and she came over to stay with Laurie. Got to the doctor's office, and he took one look and said, I'm calling an ambulance. Get you to the hospital fast. They rushed me into the operating room, said we're going to do a cesarean, and every other doctor left his patient to come assist my doctor, and 4 minutes later, Allie was born. She had a prolapsed cord, a cord that was bent double, and they were afraid she was going to lose the oxygen and blood supply. Steve, thinking, oh, this is going to be another 24-hour procedure like with Laurie, kind of took his time ambling to the hospital and walked in and met the doctor, and the doctor said, well, you have a beautiful baby girl. And Steve said, oh, I know. Laurie's at home. She's 2 years old. She's beautiful. But he said, no, 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 you have another one. And Steve said, wow, how did it happen so fast? And he explained it, and he said, you can go see Judy now. She's in the recovery room. She just had a spinal. She's wide awake. And Steve walked in, and he grabbed the end of the bed, and he started going like this. And I said, nurse, can you help my husband? And she took Steve into one of the labor rooms.
And I got to lie down with all the other women.
Lay down until he felt strong enough to get up and go home. It was just so upsetting that it all happened so quickly. So,
Never a dull moment.
no.